Hey guys, it's katherinedraconis here again with Sacred Cycles, and for this book review, I'm coming at you with a book on Dragon Magic, Mystical Dragon Magic by DJ Conway. Now, I'm not a big fan of her two Dragon Magic books, I'm not gonna lie, because, I don't know, just something doesn't jive, like it doesn't feel right. But there is some useful information in this book that she does talk about. She gives lists and lists and lists of correspondences, um, dragon information, like on the tools that can be used in dragon magic, things like that. This is heavily written from a Wiccan perspective. So if you're one of those that don't want to read a book that's written from a Wiccan perspective, this is not the book for you, okay? I will, once I'm able to acquire a copy of Dancing with Dragons, I will do a book review on that as well. So this one's called Mystical Dragon Magic, Teachings of the Five Inner Rings. Alright? And there is quite a bit to this book, but I would definitely suggest, if you're going to read these two books, Dancing with Dragons, read that one first, because this builds on the knowledge in Dancing with Dragons. So, let's get going to the table of contents. As you can see, they got some weird font going on up in here. It's weird, not gonna lie, but it adds an aesthetic to it. So, you get the introduction, which talks about entering the five inner rings, European and Eastern dragons, and understanding dragon magic. Then chapter 1, this is talking about the way of the dragon apprentice, talking about principles and laws of magic, acceptance into dragon studies. You get meditations, code, color, and other items of the apprentice. So it gives you some stuff that you'll use in the apprentice level. And this book is written to take you through, I think it's like 5 levels, 5 different levels in dragon magic. And you take it at your own pace. Once you feel you're ready to undertake the next ring, then, you go for it. I read this book all the way through. I didn't even go through the ring part. So I read it all the way through, because at that point I had read already a couple of different Dragon Magic books when I found this one. So, then we get into magical clothing in general, apprentice ritual tools, understanding the other worlds and the gates. You get a ritual for attracting guardian dragons, or dragon, depending on how willing the dragons are to work with you out of the gate. You get a ritual for attracting your co-magician dragon. It talks about dragons of the elements. Then you get another meditation on welcoming other dragons, basic personal protection, another meditation on dragon riding, dragon alchemy, testing your energy balance, and then you get the Dragon Apprentice ritual. Chapter 2 goes over the Enchanter Ring, which is the second ring, and it goes over more information, but it also goes through the basic stuff like code, colors, tools, different things like that. This also talks about choosing a magical name to work with. It talks about talismans, amulets, spells, and mixtures, crystals and stones, all kinds of things that you're going to use to, walk the Enchanter ring once you get to it. And it does build knowledge on from what you learned in the first ring. And then the third one is the Way of the Dragon Shaman. Again, it's going to go through the same kinds of things and give you more information. So she interlaces new information in the rings, but she builds on top of what you've already learned. That's the one thing I really do like, is there's a lot of building on top of what you already learned, but there's still new information. And she does go through the same thing, colors, codes, all that kind of stuff that you would need to work this ring. Chapter 4 is on the Way of the Dragon Warrior. It's set up the exact same way, ending in an initiation. So that's the way that these all are. And the final ring is the Way of the Dragon Mystic. So once you get through this, you have a chapter 6, which talks about continuing your journey. And then you get books of interest and an author's bibliography. So, very heavily Wiccan. Wasn't my cup of tea. But, that's me. One of the biggest things that I dislike about this book, and I will tell you this, is her meditations. They're guided meditations, but she doesn't give you they're not like other guided meditations where they're like, you find yourself in a plane, take a moment to, feel and experience things, yada, yada, yada. Her guided meditations tell you exactly what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, what you're smelling, what you're tasting, all of those. So they're very controlled meditations. And that's one thing I don't like. I like, because when I did the meditation, the very first meditation in this book, I'm like, I'll try it just to be safe. I had a completely different experience than what DJ Conway was saying that you would have. Okay? So that's my only biggest thing, is she tries to guide you completely through everything you're experiencing as well as what's going on. When you're gonna have, you'll have different experiences. Okay? Everybody is different in that regard. So, I mean, all in all, it's got some decent information. I'm not too sure about some of it. More research is needed into Dragon Magic, and Walking My Path will help with that as well. But all in all, it's a pretty decent book. I'm going to have to give this book at least a 3 out of 5, mainly because it is one of the very few books on Dragon Magic out there. So until next time, guys, peace out and namaste.